In a small town known as Sleepy Hollow, there lived a schoolmaster. He was kind, and at the same time was never a trouble to his neighbor. He always had his face in a book, and was very beloved by the community. His name was Ichabod Crane. One day Ichabod received a letter from Horace Van Tassel to come immediately. Horace was of course a wealthy landowner who had a very large farm. It hosted a wide variety of animals, livestock, and different types of hay and vegetation, but of all else his greatest treasure was his daughter, the fair and beautiful Katrina. Ichabod immediately, upon seeing the beauty of Katrina, fell head over heels in love with her. But she was not just the apple of his eye. Oh no, she was also the apple of the eye of Brom Bones. Brom was a skilled horseman and expert gunfighter. He was often the toast of the town, but he always found a way to make sure that Ichabod, whenever he was walking around love-struck over Katrina, would trip up. Even when dear Ichabod received a letter to come to the Van Tassels to give Katrina singing lessons, Brom found out, and of course he waited until the schoolmaster was the one to sing. For you see, he had a very noticeable tune in his voice, and with this he always made sure that his little dog that he had with him would always whine whenever he heard the schoolmaster singing. Just as Ichabod would be at a good note, the dear little dog would automatically, upon hearing the highest note that Ichabod could reach, would start to whine and fuss, thus disrupting the lesson even more so for dear Katrina. One day an invitation came to the Van Tassels' Halloween party. Ichabod wanted to impress Horace Van Tassel to be able to ask Katrina's hand in marriage, so he borrowed an old cart horse by the name of Gunpowder and rode all the way to the party, all the while thinking of Katrina and not what might lie ahead. When he got there, Horace introduced Katrina to Ichabod as he always did, and she led him to the beautiful layout that they had for that evening. Of course, dear Ichabod, ever a glutton, could not resist a doughnut or two. While they danced, Brom Bones watched them from the corner, brooding, trying to think how he could be able to sway Katrina, and then he remembered the superstitions that Ichabod was inclined to. As the men talked, Ichabod heard Brom's talking over a great story, the story of the Headless Horseman, one Ichabod had never heard of. So he told the story, and he also told how to escape the horseman who rode every night by the old church bridge, to be able to cross it in time. Katrina, unfortunately, did not seem interested in Ichabod that night. Horace was even said to say that the schoolmaster looked forlorn as he left, unaware that the horseman was making his way to the old church bridge once again. As Ichabod rode, he felt sad, but did not notice that the horseman was right behind him. When Ichabod finally did notice, however, he didn't want any of it, and made way to the church bridge, riding fast, unaware that the horseman was behind him. The old church bridge, the only way of safety. Ichabod looked back, and there was the horseman coming up the road. He rode Gunpowder all the way across the bridge. But this would not stop the horseman this night, for although the horseman could not cross the bridge when he came to it, he had other tricks up his sleeve. In the morning, all they found was a pumpkin in his hat. Katrina and Brom, however, months later, then married. It was easy to say that she did love Ichabod, but she also loved Brom. Unfortunately, no one knew what happened to Ichabod entirely, but the old wives of Sleepy Hollow say that it was the horseman that got him that day.